What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of the Phase 5 Show. Welcome everyone to the Phase 5 Show, the best Phase 5 podcast here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. In today's episode of the show, guys, I have a special guest that I'm bringing on, which I'm really excited about. We have a number of things that we're going to talk about today, but a good friend of mine in the community as a whole, guys, and I've known him for a long time, and it's been on and off since we've connected and such. His name is Storm, also known as Icon from way back in the day, but more recently his name is Storm, and we're going to talk about everything that he does and what he's done for the community up to this point, as well as me personally. But I'll go ahead and introduce him into the show. Storm, what's up, dude?
Yo, what's up, guys? Back at it again.
Back at it again. Yeah, definitely, dude. So, listen, Storm, I wanted to go ahead and talk about, so really quick, before we technically get, into the show, I think it's important that we give some context to everyone as to, how we, kind of our lives kind of crossed in the Call of Duty trick shotting and sniping communities. Now, guys, that I've been in the community. I started, the trick shotting and snipe being in that community back in 2008, 2009. MW2 is kind of where it started, and then kind of grew in a major way to Black Ops 2. And then over the years, guys, been kind of, in and out of different Call of Duty teams, and ended up joining a team with SB Sway called Major Militia. I was one of the first people brought into the team. And anyways, it's kind of a long story, but ultimately, Icon or Storm ended up joining the team and was a designer for the team. So he's a designer, guys, in the community. He's been out of the community for a little while, planning on coming back into the community, which we'll get to here shortly. But Storm, I think it's important, like I said, to give some context here. So how about you tell everyone kind of, your come up here, what it was, what it was all like, and then, kind of being in the community and how how our lives kind of crossed in. Obviously, you came into Major, but after coming into Major, there was some movement that happened. How about you explain to everyone kind of what happened there?
The movement at Major and stuff, like...
Yeah, just kind of, because you joined Major, and then you left Major, you came back, there was kind of like a lot of movement that happened there. So, like, I guess just kind of explain where you started in the Call of Duty scene, and then I guess up to where, our lives kind of crossed.
Okay, so I remember back in the day in, like, 2000 and... I think it was either 2013, 2014, I randomly just decided to download Photoshop for whatever reason. And from there I started like doing little designs. They were really, really horrible because I didn't understand anything about design. That was like the first designs I ever did. And I feel like when Black Ops 2 came out, that was around about the time that I started getting interested in like recording footage, like doing YouTube and expanding like designing and stuff. And like as soon as like I started, I instantly wanted to join a team, and I couldn't think of any team other than FaZe really. That was like, because obviously I wasn't in the community at that point, so I didn't know that there was other teams like Dare, Obey, stuff like that, and I didn't really know anything about them. And then I came across a team called Sprint, and like I went for the recruitment challenge, and somehow I got in. I don't understand how. But then from there, I started like making connections with people, and then a while after Sprint, unfortunately, ended. And that was like the first, like I was in a few teams before that, but that was the first team that was really like important to me, and was really like I felt like I was achieving something. And I got invited. I'm not sure if it was by you, Zero, or someone else. I'm pretty sure it was you to join Major. But it was
Yeah, it
either
was. It
between
was.
me.
It was a decision between myself and Sway at the time to bring you in. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, I was lead designer in Sprint, and then Sprint ended. So I was kind of a free agent at that point, and I was offered a lead designer spot in Urban or a co-lead spot in Major, and I didn't really know which to go for, and me kind of wanting like my own design team and a bit more power, honestly. I went with Urban, and I decided to stay in Urban for a bit, and I realized that Urban was kind of like Major, but not. It was kind of like a worse Major. Uh, it it was a good team, but I feel like there was just uh, a lot of people that wanted to like get big and get popular, but for like the wrong reasons. And I feel like that rubbed off on me to a certain extent with like me joining Urban over Major just because I'd get a lead designer spot. Um, but then after talking with Zero for a bit, he invited me to become a lead designer of Major. So I made the switch there, and that was that was where I really started to like experiment with like different styles. Really like start grinding on YouTube. I uploaded uh daily for about a 1 to 2 years, and I was doing that. I was doing college. I was doing designs for the team. I was doing designs for Zero's channel. I was doing designs for my own channel, and I just carried on grinding, and that's where it really started, honestly.
Right. And look, guys, to give all of you an idea of what this was all like. So back then, guys, Urban Chapters was a team, Call of Duty Trickshine sniping team, that was started by SB Chills, and I believe Wills was also there, SB Wills, who was also the two that started Urban Chapters. And so they started their own team. They're all in SB, which is Spacebound Universe at the time, and SB Sway decided to start his own team as well to kind of compete against Chills and Wills. And Sway's team, obviously, that he started was Major Militia. And so at the end of the day, guys, that's when I came, into Major. Was pretty much the first day that they were starting to kind of create the Twitter account and all of those things. And anyway, bringing we have to understand is that there was a lot of competition between, trick shot teams back then as well as now. I mean, it's no different now than it was back then. I mean, maybe slightly because it's not quite as big of a community as it was back then, but nonetheless, Urban and Major were neck and neck with it was a real rivalry, really. It was kind of bragging rights for the SB leaders, like who could have a bigger team and such. Now Urban did have a head start, so they did have more subscribers and things of that nature, but we certainly began creating some incredible content, and this was back in around Advanced Warfare. We were one of the first teams to upload a Advanced Warfare cams called Majority Rules, and I thought that we really did an incredible job with Advanced Warfare and building content around that. Now, Icon or Storm, he decided to, when he came back over to Major, we gave him a lead design spot, and I had told Sway that, look, this is the guy. He has got real talent here to do something special. So we brought him in as a lead designer, and as time went, he ended up doing, a number of thumbnails for myself for my personal YouTube channel, and those thumbnails, guys, are something absolutely incredible. I mean, he did so much work for me, especially for the Red Recruitment Challenge. Now, this was back when Red Reserve was affiliated with FaZe Clan, and so I went for the Red Reserve Recruitment Challenge because basically at the time, guys, Red Reserve was like the second team to FaZe. I mean, you wanted to get into Red, and it was kind of like the gateway to FaZe Clan back then. Even guys like Soar Max, Scarce, those guys all were joining Red at the time. And so they bring out this recruitment challenge at the end of the day. And I decided to do triple uploads every single day for the RC. Now, I went for the recruitment challenge, and I've talked about this many times on the YouTube channel, stating that, I went for the recruitment challenge as a content creator. I did not go for it as a trick shotter or a sniper. And that's probably why I didn't win the recruitment challenge. But if back then, guys, if they were picking up content creators to teams like Red Reserve and such, I think I would have had just as good of a shot as anyone to make the team. But I did try to go for clips. Of course, I didn't really hit much, maybe hit a couple of clips, but wasn't enough for a response. Anyways, though, I decided to triple upload every single day for the Red Reserve Recruitment Challenge, and Storm was the one who created all of my thumbnails for my videos. And let me tell you guys, the thumbnails that he was creating were, I mean, he's making 3 thumbnails a day for me, also creating thumbnails for, doing stuff for himself as well as Major. And I mean, just, it was unbelievable. Anyway, very well done. And I thought that he definitely, deserved to get into a bigger team. And we ended up going to Psycho together. We were in Psycho for a bit together. Then I came back to Major. And there was a lot of movement that happened, guys, back then. There were mistakes that were made. And that's just kind of what happens, when you're young. A lot of times you end up making mistakes, but at the end of the day, you got to look at what you do right, what you've done wrong, and what you can do better moving forward. And that's exactly what we're doing right now at this point in time. So anyways, that just kind of gives you guys a little bit of some backstory here as to where Storm comes from. He was ahead of, very reputable. Lots of people knew who Storm was back in those days of Major and such. Because, of all of the thumbnails and content and such that he was producing himself. So a big up to him on that. But with that being said, guys, I'd love to hear from all of you. What do you guys think? Like, how did you guys get started in the community? I would love to hear your guys' stories, some feedback on it. Let me know in the comment section down below what trick shot teams, sniping teams, or just Call of Duty teams in general were you a part of way back in the day if you were. Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Call of Duty content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. So with Phase 5 going on, guys, I think it's really important that we talk about a huge aspect of what Phase 5 was built on in the past. We all know, guys, that Phase 5 this year, here in 2020, is a recruitment challenge for anyone and everyone, which is an absolutely awesome thing because for someone like myself who's a content creator first, it really is nice because I feel like I have a much better chance at getting into Phase versus that of, if I were, trying to join as a trick shot or a sniper, because I'm not as good at that. My God-given ability is not in trick shotting and sniping. It's more so in content creation. So it's awesome that's for anyone and everyone. But in the past, Phase 5 has always been built on Call of Duty trick shotting and sniping. It brought the communities together in a major way. And I think, guys, that with Phase 5 coming back, what I want to talk about is, does Phase 5, and with Phase 5 coming back, does this create a resurgence in the trick shotting and sniping communities? And I'll start first. Storm can go after me. And we'll kind of, talk about it. I want to get your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below about this as well. Because what I've seen, guys, just by putting in the hashtag Phase 5 in the search bar on YouTube, you can look at tons of clips, tons of people going for the Phase 5 recruitment challenge. And what I'll say, guys, is there is I would say, overall, most people going for the recruitment challenge right here, right now, are going for it based on trick shotting and sniping, whether in Call of Duty or in Fortnite. And it's something really awesome to witness because it's almost like reviving the community. And what I'm going to say is, guys, is even after Phase 5 is done, when Phase 5 ends and, the recruitment challenge ends and 5 people get chosen to join the team, I believe, personally, that the trick shotting and sniping communities will continue to thrive after Phase 5. And the reason is because I think that there are a lot of trick shot and sniping teams that are being started now, or that are now going to be creating content once again around trick shot and sniping for the foreseeable future. There's going to be guys who are trying to join, trick shot and sniping teams because Phase 5 came back and because they believe, and there's going to be a belief, that Phase 5 will return once again, which is something that is really interesting because you wonder, okay, so when Phase 5 ends, when would we get another Phase 5? Would it be in another year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? How long might it be? But at the end of the day, there's been people trick shotting and sniping ever since, the last, phase 5 and, up until this one. And people have been, stayed committed and dedicated to this thing, to, trick shotting and sniping, which is awesome. It's an absolutely, incredible thing that people have, stuck with it, because it's become such a small niche community at this point in time. So with that, I do believe, though, that Phase 5 has made a significant resurgence in the trick shotting and sniping communities, primarily in Call of Duty. I mean, you could technically say in Fortnite as well, but Fortnite hasn't been around nearly as long as Call of Duty and such. But Phase 5, I think, has always been that staple that has kept the trick shotting and sniping communities together. And anytime that Phase 5 comes out, everybody's going for it because everybody believes they have a chance at it. And the same can be said right now. So Storm, you kind of see what's going on right now with the Phase 5 recruitment challenge. People trick shotting, sniping. You even jumped on Black Ops 2 the other day to trick shot and such. What do you think about this? Do you think that there is going to be a significant resurgence even after Phase 5 of trick shotting and sniping? Do you think there's going to be new teams coming? What do you think about it?
Right. Honestly, I hope so. I hope so, but I don't think there will be. I I think it's going to be one of the things where everyone's motivated whilst Phase 5 is out, and then no one's going to stick to it once it's gone. Um, I feel like a lot of people burn themselves out when it comes to Phase 5, uh, and especially with people that have joined. If you look at like previous Phase 5 winners, there's very few Phase 5 winners that are still in the teams. Um, like I know that some people absolutely grinded to get in, got in, and then they just kind of died out a bit because I don't know, they just didn't keep up, or they didn't find a pace, and then once they had what they wanted, it was hard to get anything else. And then it was also um, the people that didn't get in kind of felt a bit down about it because they didn't get in and they tried so hard. So I feel like at the moment, a lot of trick shotters are going to be seeing this and they're going to be coming back. Like for example, I know a guy called Phase Rockstar. He was one of the Phase 5 winners, I think, like the first time around, and he ended up leaving or quitting or whatever. And I know that he's come back and he's like going for the Phase 5, and I feel like a lot of people are coming back, and a lot of people are going for it. But honestly, I'd love to see like the trick shotting and sniping community come back because it was some of the best times I've had playing games and in the Call of Duty community. But at the same time, I feel like that moment's kind of gone. And I feel like when you talk about trick shotting now, people automatically assume you're talking about Fortnite or something else because it's just not been around for so long. And the thing is, there are still teams out there doing their bits and doing things that are really good for the trick shotting and sniping community, but I feel like it's so much harder to be recognized as a trick shotter. And nowadays, like back in the day, there was some people that were in phase that were just trick shotters. They didn't make videos, they just grinded for clips and they were in there because they were good at trick shotting. And it's at the point now where you can be good at trick shotting, but if you can't sit in front of a camera and talk and you don't have a personality, you're not going to get anywhere. And I don't think I feel like it was so much simpler back then, but times have changed, and it's. I don't think it's good for us to keep wanting what was once a thing. I feel like it's good to evolve, but at the same time, I still miss what used to be, and like just chilling in a Skype call with like 5 people or 5 or 6 people playing Search and Destroy on Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1 or Modern Warfare 2 and all the stuff like doing Superman lobby montages and private match montages and going for clips and free for all trick shotting when that became a thing. And so many things happened when, like during Black Ops 2. I feel like there's a chance that it'll come back, but I I don't think it will. The only thing that kind of makes me think that it could potentially is with the new Black Ops game coming around the corner, with it being a direct sequel to Black Ops 1, I know there was a lot of trick shotting in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. So if it's the same sort of mechanics and they have good weapon choices, I genuinely think there might be a resurge of it. Um, but at the moment, I feel like people are more concentrating on games that are like popping off, and I feel like instead of clan hopping, it's now game hopping. So it's not Call of Duty, it's either Warzone or Fortnite, and then when Fortnite's done, it'll be Fall Guys, and then when Fall Guys is done, people go to Valorant, and then because everyone went from COD to CS:GO, and then from CS:GO to Fortnite, and then from Fortnite to Valorant, and now people are playing Fall Guys. It's just I feel like people, instead of going from the next Call of Duty and learning how to trick shot on that, it's like, oh, let's just jump to the next big game and see what content we can get out of that, because that's what's getting views, and it's very view orientated. It's not skill anymore. It's about who can make the most catchy title, who can do something first, who can have the most unique looking thumbnail or opinion. And it is sad that it's not going to be the same, but I feel like it is good because Phase 5 is giving it an opportunity to come back, and I feel like the people who want it to come back and care about it will make it happen one way or another. And I feel like that's a really good thing about the community, is if the people that care about it will do it. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you made a couple of good points. Number one is that with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War coming out, I think there is a chance, right? There's always a chance that the next COD that comes up is going to be really special with trick shotting and sniping and such. Now, what I will say about the more recent Call of Duties, because I think we can all agree that trick shotting and sniping hasn't felt the same since probably Black Ops 2. But if you want to go back to even Advanced Warfare, because it was so different, people were liked it a lot at first when it came to trick shotting and sniping because it was very different. Even though that was kind of short-lived, I would probably say it lasted a number of months, and then people were going back to the old CODs once again. But I think what's interesting is that even with the more recent Call of Duties, especially the most recent one being Modern Warfare, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I've been watching clips from people, because I really haven't watched much trick shotting and sniping in Modern Warfare until Phase 5. And so now, when I put in that hashtag Phase 5 on the search bar on YouTube, there's a lot of people going for clips on Modern Warfare, and some of them are actually really cool. Now, obviously, it's different. Doesn't look quite as fluid as that of Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 2, but you know what? It's not too bad in my personal opinion. Now, I've seen a lot of people doing the no scopes across the map and such. That's what I've been seeing a lot of when it comes to, Modern Warfare. Not necessarily going for trick shots per se, but no scopes across the map and such are something that I am starting to see quite a bit. Obviously, sniping feeds is something that's been going on for a long time now. So I gotta say that I do feel that if there's a couple of things here. I disagree with you, Storm, that I actually think that there's a really good chance that the trick shot sniping communities could come back if Phase 5, after Phase 5, because people are going to feel that there's a chance that they, especially if Phase picks up a number of trick shotters and snipers to the team. Now, obviously, I would say, and I've stated this in the past, that the top 100, when that gets released, of the top 100 people, I would say they're probably going to pick up maybe 10 to 15 trick shotters to the top 100, 10 to 15 snipers, 10 streamers, 10 content creators, 10 artists, or 5 artists, 5 musicians, 5 comedians, because it's basically for anyone. So you got to wonder. They're most likely going to stick to their roots in a pretty major way, because it seems like most of the people going for Phase 5, at least at this point in time, are trick shotters and snipers. Now, the second point you made, which I thought was really good, was about how the trick shotters that and snipers that got into FaZe, how they kind of didn't evolve, and because they didn't evolve, they ended up being kind of left in the dust and ended up leaving the team or getting dropped, like FaZe Ramos and Stxrm and a number of these other guys. One guy who's done it right, from the very beginning, since he got recruited, was FaZe Linksy. He's still doing the same thing that he was doing. He just evolved his channel to being more personality based, but he's still doing trick shots, still doing, and doing those things at a really high level and showing his face using webcam, streaming and such. So he's one of the outliers. But I do agree that people, if they join FaZe, and that's probably why FaZe 5 decided to go in the direction where they were going to have a variety of people that they were going to try to pick up. They didn't want it just to be trick shotters and snipers anymore on Fortnite or on just Call of Duty. They wanted it to be for anyone because they want to make sure that you've got a personality, that you are good at playing video games, or you are at least really good at creating content. And if you are a trick shotter or sniper, you are also good at other things. So I do see it in a number of ways here. I do think, though, that with FaZe 5 coming back, this is the biggest thing that could have happened to the Call of Duty community, especially from a trick shotting and sniping perspective. Now, what that translates to, I think a lot of it has to do with how FaZe 5 ends this time around. Because if they don't pick up any trick shotters and no snipers, because, those trick shotters and snipers are good at trick shotting, but they have no personality, so they decide to pick up streamers or something, then yes, I would say that the trick shot and sniping community is going to go right back into where it was, almost in a dormant phase or like a limbo state. But if they do pick up some trick shotters, some snipers based upon FaZe 5, I think that anyone who trick shots and snipes is going to believe that they've got a shot the next time FaZe 5 comes around. But you know what, guys? This is two man's, thoughts. I'd love to hear yours in the comment section down below. Is trick shotting and sniping going to be revived moving forward with FaZe 5, even after it ends and such? Or is this just going to be a phase, no pun intended, during the FaZe 5 recruitment challenge, and then it'll go back into a dormant phase? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And for more FaZe 5 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. So with Storm, guys, being with me on this, and being featured on this episode of the FaZe 5 show, I thought it would be really cool to kind of pick his brain about, with designing and such. Look, this is a guy, like I said, who's was in the Call of Duty trick shotting and sniping community and design community for a long time, guys. He's planning on getting back into this community, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit later. But I wanted to kind of, like I said, pick his brain on, as far as from a designing perspective, how to start. And he can kind of give some of you out there, if you're into designing, you're trying to get started, you're trying to get better at designs, maybe a couple of tips and tricks on how you guys can get, better overall. You can maybe get some of those things here from Storm. So Storm, take it away. Give everyone, all of the up-and-comer, designers, some advice, some things that helped you kind of get to where you are right now.
Okay, so one of the first things I'd like to say is don't take stuff to heart. A lot of people are going to shit on you. A lot of people are going to tell you that your designs aren't good enough. A lot of people are going to tell you they're just going to like be a bit of a dick about it. But what you need to do is you need to listen to the people who are giving constructive criticism and learn the difference between people that are being assholes and people that are actually giving you constructive criticism. So if someone says, I don't like this design, but I feel like you could improve it by upping the saturation or putting this here or maybe adding a little bit of this, then that's constructive criticism. Just because they don't like it doesn't mean that they're being mean to you. If they straight up say, this is horrible, it's the worst thing I've seen all year, then they're being a bit of a dick and you shouldn't listen to them. Another thing is, look at tutorials, and I know that's like a very basic thing, but there's a lot of tutorials out there, and don't be afraid to be inspired. I feel like a lot of people are scared about copying designers. I know when I started, I didn't copy, but I did get inspired heavily by a few designers, and that's okay, as long as you're not like fully taking. If for example someone makes a design and it's Marvel themed, but it's in a very specific like style, and then you get inspired but do it with a different character or something like that. Don't fully take credit for that if it's not your idea. It's okay to be inspired, but there's a difference between being inspired and straight ripping someone off. Um, and I feel like that's a really good way to start, by being inspired by people. And even if you're trying to, even one thing that I'd actually say is try and copy a design, but don't make it public. Don't, just because you design something doesn't mean you have to share it. So what you could do is you could pick a design from a designer that you really like and that you look up to and that inspires you to design, and you can take their piece of work and be like, okay, I'm going to try and make this myself as good as I can, and then you might be able to make it, you might not. But then if there's a certain thing that he's done in it that you want to do, you can easily find a tutorial on how to do that specific thing. Um, Also, don't limit yourself. Don't Back in the day, in like trick shotting and stuff, like in the trick shotting teams, a lot of people would um limit themselves and say, I'm a 2D designer, I'm a 3D designer, or I do social media, I do advertisements. And I feel like that's very negative. I try to do all types of designs because I feel like that just kind of makes you more desirable as a designer and as an artist. Um, and at the moment, me personally, I'm leaning more towards 3D because that's what I'm trying to learn and be better at. And it's okay to have a main focus of your design work, but try and dabble in everything and try and learn as many skills, because you might have a client or a team come to you and say, I want you to design a logo. But if you've never designed a logo before, you might not be able to do it perfectly. You might not be able to do it how they want it. And that one person might then talk to other people and tell them that you're not worth going to. Um, and the thing is reputation. Another thing, reputation can always be fixed, um, as long as you haven't like done anything really bad. Um, Reputation can easily be fixed, and you can just keep trying. And not everyone starts off being a good designer, um, and it's it does take some talent, but a lot of it is like can be taught, and there's a lot of brilliant things out there. For example, um, Skillshare. I've used that a couple of times. I know that a lot of people can. There's promotions where you can get 3 months for free, but then if you cancel your account, you get another 3 months for free. So you get like 6 months free Skillshare, which is pretty amazing. YouTube's full of it. Um, and a lot of designers, if you're nice, and dicks. Sometimes when I was learning 3D, especially, there was a couple of people that were doing a lot of like renders, and I really liked the look of them. And I wanted some advice about lighting, and wanted opinions on my work that I was creating. So I just messaged them on Twitter, and they came back and they were really, really nice about it. And I feel like some designers are going to be like dicks, and they are going to be like up their own arse, and they are going to think that they're amazing. But a lot of designers are really nice and do want to help other people. There are some people who are really protective about the designs that they do, but a lot of people, like myself, I really want to help as many people as possible. And if anyone comes to me and asks me how I did a certain thing, I'll tell them, and I'll tell them what programs I recommend, what plugins I recommend. Um, and another thing that I'd recommend is, I know that a lot of designers coming in to the community are going to be pirating software, uh, and I think that a lot of designers are like guilty for that. But what I'd say is, um, try any way to get it legit as possible, because it will help you a lot. For example, if you can get it through your school or your education, um, or if you can do like Adobe Creative Cloud and get Photoshop as a subscription monthly, um, I genuinely say it's worth it, because for me, I did feel like kind of bad. I did feel bad, and I did feel guilty for having all of this pirated software, but at the same time, I now own all of my software. Um, and I feel like it's a better way to do designs, and it's a more professional way to do designs. Um, Another thing I'd say is stay active on social media. Um, Post designs, ask for opinions, um, do some like self promo. For example, when I used to do YouTube, I used to do a lot of giveaways for my designs because I thought that if I gave away designs, more people would see them, more people would like them, more people would want them. And I also used to do like little fun wagers, like I used to do videos like trick shot race for a rebrand, where if the person won and hit a trick shot first, then they would get a full redesign, like a logo, banner, Twitter header, everything. Um, and I feel like using social media and promoting yourself is a very good thing that a lot of people, for some reason, still don't do. Um, have a portfolio. Make sure that your portfolio is marketed towards the type of people you want to be involved with. For example, if it's trick shot and gaming based, make it a gaming portfolio with a lot of gaming based designs. And a couple websites that are really good is if you want in, I used to use Behance a lot. Behance was really good. Um, and another good place to like upload your design work is Dribble. Dribble you have to be invited to, I think, still. But a lot of people do give away Dribble invites, and it's a basketball themed design website, and that's more professional if you want, and more like UI based, and more like I'm not sure how to say, but it's like it's more professional and it's more like clean looking, and I feel like that's very much for like professional and people that are wanting to get more into like the professional side of design. Um, but then there's all these different like sub communities on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook. All these websites have like really, really good like groups. Um, and I found it really helpful when I was in like Call of Duty teams to have a group of designer friends. Uh, so I had a friend called Fishy, or who changed his name to Who, but he knows who he is, and me and him were like best friends, and we were both designers, and we were in all these different teams together. And he'd learned something that I think was cool, and he'd teach me. I'd learn something and teach him, and we both like teach each other stuff. And I feel it's very good to like bounce ideas off of people and have a support network there that you can trust. And like if he linked me a design and I thought it was horrible, I'd tell him that it was horrible and that he could improve it like this, and I know that he would do the same to me. um so yeah, I think don't take anything to heart is, I want to like reiterate that, don't take anything to heart, and make sure that you're doing what you enjoy, and don't feel like you have to make a design that you don't enjoy, and not everything has to be perfect, and just keep working at it, and make sure that you can just, if you want to make it a career, try and make the best moves you can, and try and get as far as you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that's my advice.
Right, yeah, and I look, guys. There's three words that have taught me everything. Just keep creating. At the end of the day, guys, for me at least, when it comes to content creation, I just tell people to just keep uploading, just keep making videos. And the way that you get good at something is just by doing it over and over again. I wasn't really great at talking to the camera, years ago. It took time, it took effort. Storm was not always great at making designs. It's just the sheer amount of designs you create, and you get better and better. You kind of look at what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, what you can do better moving forward. And we talk about this all the time on the YouTube channel, and you implement and you exploit those things that you're doing wrong, and you try to turn those into rights. And over time, guys, you're gonna get better at it. It's like playing a video game. It's like playing a sport. The more you play, the better you get. It just comes with it. It's like that muscle memory. It's like that, just over time, the hours clocked into something, the more that you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. And so for me, with designing, it's like, even though it's totally different than, say, creating content, at the end of the day, you're creating something. So just keep creating, guys. That's the biggest thing, whether you're trick shotting, whether you're sniping, whether you're a designer in the community, whatever it is that you do, just keep doing whatever it is that you do and try to do it and try to change things as you go to kind of make it, make your experience better or make, just your work better. It's an unbelievable thing, guys, over time, just what you can accomplish. And these are, what Storm was saying is great, advice for those of you going for the Phase 5 recruitment challenge as a designer. If you're trying to just do a ton of designs, try and do some speed arts, whatever it is that you're trying to do to get into Phase, like doing things like that, going ahead and creating, a ton of designs and such, even if not all of them are the highest standard for you, just create a lot of designs and use the ones that are your best work when you're trying to, get into a team like Phase. And even if you don't get into Phase, someone else might see your work and you might get into a different team. You just never know. So just keep creating, guys. And with that, guys, I want to, like I said, I think it's really important that you guys know that. Let us know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think it takes to be a great designer in the community? Let me know. And for more design content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. With Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War obviously coming out later this year, guys, there has been rampant speculation and a lot of talk, guys, as to what this game is all going to encompass. We know, obviously, about everything revolving around the campaign, and, this is going to be pretty much a direct sequel to Black Ops 1. I've stated in the past, guys, many times that I don't like the name Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I wish it was just called Black Ops 5, just to kind of continue what they already started. But nonetheless, the title of a game is not what dictates whether it's going to be a good or bad game. The gameplay, the mechanics, the story, and all of those things are what really dictates whether a game is really good or not. I mean, Black Ops Cold War, that, by all intents and purposes, could be the best Call of Duty to date. We just don't know until we play the game. But we're going to go ahead and do, guys. You guys have heard from me as to what I think about Black Ops Cold War, at least at this point in time, what we've seen from multiplayer, what we've seen from the campaign. I mean, look, I'm obviously intrigued. Call of Duty is my favorite game and my favorite franchise out there. And so, of course, I'm excited about it. I can't wait to, learn more and see more. But, Storm, I wanted to talk to, get your thoughts as to what you thought of what we've seen of multiplayer, what we've seen of the campaign and such. Obviously, we haven't seen much on, zombies or anything like that. What all else is going to come here, as well as, like, how Warzone's going to be implemented into Black Ops Cold War. But what are your thoughts on this so far? I mean, for me, I think overall, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic that it's going to be a pretty good title. I believe that the multiplayer is going to be on point because Treyarch always does a really good job with multiplayer. As far as campaign goes, Sledgehammer making that campaign and developing the campaign, they did a really good job with World War II's campaign. So I'm glad that they're doing this campaign. Overall, I think I'm optimistic, but who knows? It may end up not being very good. It may end up being absolutely awesome. What do you see? How do you see it so far?
So I really like, right. So I like how it's looking, but I kind of like the aesthetic of Modern Warfare, and with it being on the same engine, it kind of makes sense that I'd like it. The only thing we've seen is search and rescue. Now that doesn't look amazing, I'll be honest. And the sliding is kind of a bit annoying. Like, come on, just bring back dolphin dives. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like the main thing I'm really excited for is zombies. Honestly, I've been playing a lot of zombies, and I really want Zombie Chronicles 2. Apparently that's finished, but I don't know if it'll ever come out. But I just want the old maps from Black Ops 2 remastered, like Mob of the Dead, fucking what's that other one? Transit, Die Rise, Buried, all maps like that. I want all of them back, and I want them to ditch all the stuff from Black Ops 4 Zombies because that was horrible. Um, I don't know. I feel like the campaign looks good. Um, I'm not sure how I feel about them using the same engine because I feel like the good thing about COD is if you wanted to play a game that felt Infinity Infinity Ward made it, then you'd play like Modern Warfare. But then if you wanted to play a game that Treyarch had made, and like you wanted to play uh, a game that felt like Treyarch made it, you'd play like Black Ops. And Treyarch are my favorite Call of Duty developers, and it's kind of annoying how they're going to be making a game in the Modern Warfare engine because that just feels like it just feels like they're going to be making Modern Warfare 2.0. It doesn't feel like they're gonna. I don't know. I feel like it's not gonna be like it's not gonna feel like a Treyarch game because it's going to be in the Modern Warfare engine, and it feels like they know how successful Modern Warfare was, so now they're trying to capitalize on that, and I don't like that. I'd like if they just did it themselves. But then at the same time, I can see how it's beneficial because then Warzone and other things like that, and it won't be too different. But I do like how every year it's a different vibe and it's a different feel and it's something different. And I feel like it might get boring. And some people even I know we haven't like seen much of the multiplayer, but even some people just commenting on the leaked footage, just saying that they're not interested in it because it just looks like Modern Warfare and it looks worse than Modern Warfare. Um, but I know that it's just a bit, alpha gameplay, but I feel like I feel like it's got a lot of potential to be good, like the campaign, zombies, and multiplayer. Um, but I just hope that they integrate stuff like Warzone perfectly, and it's not a shit show. And I hope that they don't mess around with zombies too much because I feel like I don't know. I feel like zombies didn't. Every time Infinity Ward's tried to do zombies, it hasn't felt good. Black Ops 4 didn't feel good, and I feel like if they're going to be using the Modern Warfare uh, engine for zombies as well, I feel like that will change it, and it won't feel like an authentic zombies experience. So I'm more worried than I am excited at this point, but with the reveals around the corner, hopefully I get proved wrong, and hopefully it's a really good game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that we're obviously we're as we get closer, more and more information is going to be coming out. We're going to be finding out more about the story, and I mean, I know there's only so much that they're going to reveal to us, but yeah, it being on the Modern Warfare engine makes sense for Warzone and how that's going to be integrated. They're probably just going to add weapons into Warzone and such, and from Black Ops Cold War, what it's going to look like. It's hard to say, how all of this is going to work. But like I said, I'm optimistic. I agree with you that I like if you want to play a Treyarch title in Call of Duty, you play Black Ops. If you want to do Infinity Ward, you play the Modern Warfare series. And so if they're trying to make them kind of the same, I don't really know what the purpose that's going to serve, other than that it's just going to be one of those, I guess, a way for them to make a good amount of cash off of it because of what Modern Warfare brought to the table and how many copies they sold and so on and so forth. But look, I'm optimistic about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, even though I don't like the title, even though, yes, it's using the Modern Warfare engine. We'll see. I mean, I hope that they bring back 2v2 gunfight back in, from Modern Warfare into Black Ops Cold War. I hope that, they have a competitive playlist, like a league playlist. There's a lot of things I think Treyarch does better than Infinity Ward. I think there's things that Infinity Ward does better than Treyarch. And so we'll have to kind of wait and see. But the question is, guys, what do you all think about everything that's been revealed so far for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War? What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War content and videos, stay here with Xero TV. with Phase 5 heating up, guys, and as we're getting closer and closer to the end of the recruitment challenge, I want to go ahead and give you guys the top 5 players that I believe have the best shot at joining Phase, or at least at the very least getting into the top 100. So let's get into it. So guys, coming in at number 1 for me, this is in no particular order, by the way, is Cody. This is a guy who's got 80,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he brought out a video, a 10-minute video called "This is what hashtag Phase 5 sniping looks like," and this was just some great 10 minutes of just entertaining content. I mean, he's got a lot of subscribers. He obviously, even though that's not going to dictate whether you make it into the team or not, at least I don't think it will, but nonetheless, very good at sniper feeds, very good at pretty much what he does. Now, a lot of the clips, guys, that he put out in this video don't have the Phase 5 clan tag, so we're gonna have to take that in consideration. But all I'm saying is, if that he's hitting shots like this for Phase 5, he's got a very good shot at making it into the top 100. Coming in at number 2 for me, guys, is Plasma. Plasma, guys, is a Fortnite player who has 425,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he has had some incredible trick shots, guys, for the Phase 5 recruitment challenge. And not only that, guys, he creates content on a pretty consistent basis on the YouTube channel. He put out about a 10-minute video about why he's going to join Phase, and it's 10 minutes, guys, of just, essentially Fortnite clips and such, and he is, killing it. When we talk about, 10 minutes worth of footage is pretty impressive, to say the least. Plus, with his big following and such, I think he's got a really good shot at potentially the top 100. Now, once again, guys, we're gonna have to wait for the Phase 5, submissions for the top 100 to kind of see what everyone's final submissions are. But nonetheless, I think that Plasma's got a really good chance. Next, guys, for me is Obey Bams. Bams, guys, this is a guy who wasted no time getting a lot of clips, to say the least. He brought out a video on his YouTube channel, just over 10 minutes worth of clips for Phase 5. Sniper feeds, by the way. So this guy is absolutely killing it in a major way. Big up to him for just how many, clips he's already hitting, guys, in Search and Destroy, which is really impressive, to say the least. But like I said, this is a guy who's in Obey, who's got over 30,000 subscribers, bringing out a video that's 10 minutes long, big time. Really big things happening for this guy, I believe, and I think that you'll definitely want to keep your eyes peeled for him. I think he's got a good shot at making it into the top 100. Next, guys, at number 4 for me is Kaiser. Kaiser, guys, is another creator, but what he does is a lot of no scopes on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. He came out with a little bit over an 8.5-minute video of just a bunch of sniper shots, guys. That being just no scopes across the map and such. I think that just the sheer amount of clips that these guys are hitting on a consistent basis in Call of Duty Modern Warfare is really impressive. Now, we obviously know, guys, that there's a lot. We've got so many guys out there that are hitting trick shots and sniper feeds on some of the older Call of Duties. But to me, what's really impressive is seeing these guys who are hitting shots on even the more recent Call of Duties, because it's not quite as popular as it was back in the day. Back in the day, guys, with trick shot and sniping, Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2 were, everybody was doing it in the community. And so it's pretty awesome just seeing Kaiser and what he's doing. So big props to him for all of the clips that he's been hitting in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And then lastly, guys, is a content creator. I believe his name is Ocean. He has 257,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he's been creating a lot of videos for the Phase 5 recruitment challenge. I think that he's got a really good chance after watching some of his videos for the Phase 5 recruitment challenge. He's very entertaining. Sure, doesn't necessarily hit like a crazy amount of clips, but I think that he's very entertaining in what he does from a stream perspective, and that definitely translates over to to his YouTube channel. And I think that he's got a good shot, guys, at potentially making it into the top 100 if he keeps creating content and such at a very high level. Absolutely, Ocean would be in my top 100. Without a doubt, guys. We'll have to kind of wait and see as we get closer to, phase 5 and the recruitment challenge ending, but he's creating content every single day, and so that's something that you got to respect, and I think that he does a really good job, and he does this at a very high level, and you can just tell from his thumbnails to the content he's creating. But with that, guys, those are the top 5 players and just content creators, streamers, whatever you want to call them, the top 5 people that I believe have a really good shot at making it to the top 100 and maybe even making it into phase itself. Let me know what you guys think. And Storm, I want to pass it over to you. Is there anyone out there that you believe has a good, solid shot at making it to into phase or just into the phase top 100?
So personally for me, there's a few. So there's 3, right? So first, my boy Zero doing that grind.
Dude, that's
self-explanatory.
That's my guy. That's my guy. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that.
And then I think I kind of want Rockstar to come back and go for it. Because I don't know, it's just something about like an OG coming back. He's got the history with FaZe, so I feel like it might be good for him to like earn his way back. And also, I agree with you with Cody. He's pretty insane, and I think he's got a really good chance because he already plays with like FaZe Key and FaZe Agony and stuff. So he already kind of has an in there. But they're my 3 picks. I don't really have any others. But I mainly watch Call of Duty content, so I am kind of biased. So I do kind of like stick with Call of Duty content creators.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my picks personally.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, and guys, the other, the team, in my opinion, that is just making huge waves, in my personal opinion, during the Phase 5 Recruitment Challenge is Parallel. Parallel is a team, guys, that they've got a lot of players there that definitely have a chance at making the top 100. I would bet that they are going to have a couple of guys that make the top 100. Parallel being run by Sean, does a great job. I believe he was the creator of Plutonium for Black Ops 2. Look, they've got creators and really just trick shotters over there that I've been watching that are absolutely insane, and so I think that they've got a really good shot myself to making it into the top 100 at the very least. But these are the guys, man. Who are the top 5 people that you think are going to make it into phase and at least make it to the top 100? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Phase 5 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And before we wrap up the show, guys, I want to say thank you to all of you for all the support you guys have been giving me on the Phase 5 Recruitment Challenge so far. I mean, guys, the grind is real. We're uploading 5 videos a day right now, and it's all because of you guys. I just appreciate the support that I've been getting, whether it be on YouTube, on Twitter, wherever it is, guys. I just really appreciate it, and we're going to keep going, guys. We're going to keep going. And really quick, Storm, tell everyone out there how they can connect with you.
So I've got a new YouTube channel that I'll be uploading to very soon, and that's just Storm, Stxrm, all caps, and that's me. And I also will be making a Twitter which will be called Young Storm. Storm is spelled the same way, and then YUNG, and that's all at the moment.
All right, and guys, you will be able to find those links in the description down below. Thanks again for coming on to the show, Storm. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the Phase 5 show. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.